The pool. It was going to rain. I could see the rain moving across the foothills, and I could smell it in the breeze. But instead of turning homewards, I pushed my way through the leaves and brambles that grew across the forest path. I had heard the sound of running water at the bottom of the hill, and I was determined to find this hidden stream. I had to slide down a rock face into a small ravine, and there I found the stream running over a bed of shingle. I removed my shoes and started walking upstream. A large glossy black bird with a curved red beak hooted at me as I passed, and a paradise flycatcher, this one I couldn't fail to recognize, with its long fan-like tail beating the air, swooped across the stream. Water trickled down from the hillside, from amongst ferns and grasses and wildflowers, and the hills, rising steeply on either side, kept the ravine in shadow. The rocks were smooth, almost soft, and some of them were grey and some yellow. A small waterfall came down the rocks and formed a deep round pool of apple green water. When I saw the pool, I turned and ran home. I wanted to tell Anil and Kamal about it. It began to rain, but I didn't stop to take shelter. I ran all the way home, through the sal forest, across the dry river bed, through the outskirts of the town. Though Anil usually chose the adventures we were to have, the pool was my own discovery, and I was proud of it. "We'll call it Laurie's pool," said Kamal. "And remember, it's a secret pool. No one else must know of it." I think it was the pool that brought us together more than anything else. Kamal was the best swimmer. He dived off rocks and went gliding about under the water like a long golden fish. Anil had strong legs and arms, and he threshed about with much vigor but little skill. I could dive off a rock too, but I usually landed on my stomach. There were slim silver fish in the stream. At first, we tried catching them with a line, but they soon learned the art of taking the bite without being caught on the hook. Next, we tried a bed sheet. Anil had removed it from his mother's laundry, which we stretched across one end of the stream, but the fish wouldn't come anywhere near it. Eventually, Anil, without telling us, procured a stick of gunpowder, and Kamal and I were startled out of an afternoon siesta by a flash across the water and a deafening explosion. Half the hillside tumbled into the pool, and Anil along with it. We got him out along with a large supply of stunned fish which were too small for eating. Anil, however, didn't want all his work to go waste, so he roasted the fish over a fire and ate them himself. The effects of the explosion gave Anil another idea, which was to enlarge our pool by building a dam across one end. This he accomplished with our combined labor, but he had chosen a week when there had been heavy rains in the hills, and we had barely finished the dam when a torrent of water came rushing down the bed of the stream, bursting our earthworks and flooding the ravine. Our clothes were carried away by the current, and we had to wait until it was night before creeping into town through the darkest alleyways. Anil was spotted at a street corner, but he posed as a naked sadhu and began calling for alms, and finally slipped in through the back door of his house without being recognized. I had to lend Kamal some of my clothes, and these, being on the small side, made him look odd and gangly. Our other activities at the pool included wrestling and buffalo riding. We wrestled on a strip of sand, that ran beside the stream. Anil had often attended wrestling akhadas and was something of an expert. Kamal and I usually combined against him, and after 5 or 10 minutes of furious, unscientific struggle, we usually succeeded in flattening Anil into the sand. Kamal would sit on his head and I would sit on his legs until he admitted defeat. There was no fun in taking him on singly because he knew too many tricks for us. We rode on a couple of buffaloes that sometimes came to drink and wallow in the more muddy parts of the stream. Buffaloes are fine, sluggish creatures, always in stretch of a soft, slushy resting place. We would climb on their backs, kick, yell, and urge them forward, but on no occasion did we succeed in getting them to carry us anywhere. If they got tired of our antics, they would merely roll over on their backs, taking us with them into a bed of muddy water. Not that it mattered how muddy we got, because we had only to dive into the pool to get rid of it all. The buffaloes couldn't get to the pool because of its narrow outlet and the slippery rocks. If it was possible for Anil and me to leave our homes at night, we would come to the pool for a swim by moonlight. We would often find Kamal there before us. He wasn't afraid of the dark or the surrounding forest where there were panthers and jungle cats. We bathed silently at nights because the stillness of the surrounding jungle seemed to discourage high spirits. But sometimes Kamal would sing. He had a clear, ringing voice, and we would float the red, long fingered poinsettias downstream. The pool was to be our principal meeting place during the coming months. It was not that we couldn't meet in town, but the pool was secret, known only to us, and it gave us a feeling of conspiracy and adventure to meet there after school. It was at the pool that we made our plans. It was at the pool that we first spoke of the glacier. But several weeks and a few other exploits were to pass before that particular dream materialized.